So guys, welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to be breaking down of all my trade I took this week, how I took it, my entries and the lessons I made from those losses, and also how I journal my trade. In this video, that's what I'm going to be sharing. I'm going to be sharing my charts, my screen. So let's get into it. Right. So firstly, I would like to say that I journal my trade on Telegram because I don't have money to get for the I don't have a lot of money to buy the TradeZella Pro, like the TradeZella Premium, where you'll be able to see your wins, your losses, and everything. TradeZella is a subscribe. You have to subscribe for it to get access, right? So I do my journaling on trading on Telegram, and it's been good. I've been able to go back to recent of my trades and do it like that. So let me go to Telegram, right? So this is the new week of this was July 30th, that was last week. So this is the new week. So I was looking at this trade on JPY, right? So this was my setup basically. So this was it. I said first trade for the week. This setup is based on trendline bounce liquidity. So one of my main strategy I trade is trendline. That's trendline breakout or trendline liquidity. I trade trendline, right? So either trendline breakout or trendline liquidity. That's what I trade. So I was actually seeing that this setup. So I said a bounce liquidity on the 4 hours time frame to the upside, though it wasn't an A plus setup. My A plus setup is breakout and retest, breakout, 3 touch point breakout, or breakout and retest. That's my A plus setup. But this was a bounce liquidity. This is part of my setup, right? But it was not my A plus setup. So I actually said I'll take the trade and how it to go. And I was in. So basically I won't lie. So I actually closed the trade when I saw it was kind of retracing, because though I said earlier it was not my A plus setup, so I was kind of like having this fear that it's going to come and break this line and it to become a breakout, right? Because I trade trend line and bounce and breakout. So if actually this breakout now, it will mean that the trend is reversing, right? So I was kind of afraid, and if it's breakout, it's going to break out like a very big bearish candle, because I mostly see those on GBP JPY. Has been one of my best pairs I've been trading for a while now. So I already closed this very early on GBP right? So the next the next um the next one I took was actually XAU USD. Though I took XAU USD, and though I didn't share the setup, right? But this was XAU USD. So what I said there was one of my best and fastest trade the month in this month. I entered this trade due to a 3 touch point breakout to the downside, and it was very massive. I thank God for today for guiding me through out the I followed my rule and I made a massive profit, right? So looking at this trade here, so you see that it actually follows my strategy. A 3 touch point. I don't go beyond my rules. Though sometimes I actually, I overtrade. Sometimes I don't actually used to follow my rules. But you see, in this type of trade, I actually did. I followed my rules, and it actually played out very. In fact, I see the candle, the breakout. One thing about trendline breakouts is that why I love it, why is my A plus setup, is that once it breaks out, and but mind you, this is 4 hours time frame. I don't trade. I mostly my time frame is usually from the 2 hours time frame to the 4 hours time frame. I do my analysis from the 4 hours and take on the 2 hours. But this I just put it on the 4 hours, right? So it was actually a 3 point. This was on gold. If you look at this, you can see. If you look at this, you would be able to see this. This is let me take it. This is a first. Sorry. So it was actually doing a 3 touch actually. So if you look at it, this is a first touch, second touch, and third touch. Then price broke out massively. It didn't even do any. It didn't even retrace or do any kind. So it was actually very, very massive. And this trade I made a a good amount on this trade. That's on my account, right? So this was another trade I took, right? So this was another trade I took. AUD JPY, first trade for today. This was due to a 3 touch point breakout and ranging breakout as a confirmation to the upside. Let's see how it goes. I'm risking $55 on this trade to make 159, which is 1:3 out. You see, on Telegram, I actually do journal my trades, do everything like as if I have a trade zeller. That's just one thing about me. I do like as if I have a trade zeller. Trade on AUD, on I journal my trades on Telegram, and like it has helped me a lot though. Actually, I actually track my progress. Yeah, so I took this actually, and they actually played out very well actually. But there was a yeah. Look at now. I want to show this thing now. Now you see, I do trade breakout. This was a 3 touch points actually. One, two, three. But you notice some stuffs right here. You can see from here when price breakout, it was ranging, So this kind of thing I've seen it before on previous pair before. It will break out, then it will just be ranging, then actually now map this out like, okay, let me see the outcome. If it breaks out to the downside, I will take a sell, and if it breaks up to the upside, I'll take a buy. But what made me confident that it's going to buy is was because it was actually going up, like it was already breaking out of the trend line, right? So that's what gave me a more confirmation. If actually it's going to break to the downside, I would have known, and trendline was giving me like a confirmation that, oh, this is actually trying to change bias. But it didn't break this second trend line here. So that was not made me feel like, oh, this is actually going to like go to the upside. So I took it, and it was a good one, right? So it's actually, this was 4 hours time frame mainly. Yeah, I took it on 4 hours time frame, so it was a good one actually on 4 hours time frame. Yeah, so I took XAUUSD again. I was thinking this is going to go like a very very big setup, and this was actually a 3 touch. Actually, it was a 3 touch point, but it didn't go as planned actually. So it LCL, as you see, trade it LCL, and that was, oh, this is actually last 2 weeks. This is actually last 2 week trade. This was actually my last 2 week trade experience. My this week experience was kind of messy. I made a lot of losses, and this US 30 I took was crazy. I took this US 30 trade, and it hit SL. The GBP JPY trade, I closed it early. I entered again on US 30. This week was kind of, it SL. I was a lot of losses this week, a lot of losses. I was just taking trades. I didn't follow my rules this week, right? But I hope next week I'm going to do better actually. I'm still building myself, I'm still learning more, and I was just taking a whole lot of nonsense of trades. Yeah, there was some ones I took very good based on my setup, but actually it was just kind of, I hate SL. I didn't make any profit this week. That was just it. I didn't make any trade. I didn't make any profit. I was just trading, and I hit a lot of SLs like this now. This actually broke out, but it retraced back. News all over. So, but this trade on BTC, this is the last trade I mean for, BTC is open throughout the weekend, and today is Saturday, and I entered this BTC trade. So I'm waiting to see the outcome. So this is a 3 touch points and breakout, so I'm waiting to see the outcome of BTC, right? So I want to actually show my dashboard on my account, then I'm going to just review my trade for the next week. Yeah, so this is my dashboard on my profit account. I use Goat Funded Trader, and this is my account actually. So I have actually blown a lot of accounts. Talk about number of accounts. I've blown a lot of profit accounts. It is not new. I've seen all those downsides of trading, and I'm still growing though. So, but I've blown a lot of accounts. I've blown 5 accounts. But well, We thank God. This is currently currently one of my accounts. This is a 5k account. So this account right here is my second account. This is the 10k challenge. I just recently passed this account. I passed this account, that was last week. So this is a pay letter challenge on Good Funded. There's a kind of way that I have a pay letter challenge on Good Funded, right? So I passed this account, and this was one of my best. I've this is my first account I've ever traded, and I passed this account. I'm funded, right? So I'm about to pay the money for it's a pay letter challenge. So I actually passed the account. $400 was the target profit, right? So but this is the account currently I am in. This is the 5k account, and this is where I made a lot of losses so this week. So let me go through my dashboard. Right, so earlier this week I was up $305. Like I was up $305 on this account, but you know the market has its own ways. So I actually eat a lot of SLs today this week. So let me show my trading history. You will see I made a lot of losses. This was JPY, $56 loss, $15 loss. I made a small little profit that the one I closed when I feel like markets were kind of retracing, that was $9. $47 loss, $5 profit. I was making a lot of losses. Look at the losses, man. It was crazy, right? So I didn't do well this week. Yeah, I didn't do well this week, but next week I'll learn more, back test more, and try to make good out of next week, and I hope I see result next week, right? So let me show my stats. Yeah, so this my stats. I made a lot of loss last week. Yeah, this is my net PNL. That's 13 trades, $13 in 33 trades. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. That's crazy. In this account, I had 21 losses, just 12 wins, zero break even. That's I'm losing on this account. Absolutely, not even chance. Like how could somebody have $21, 21 losses and only 12 wins? I'm low, and in this account I've made a lot of losses. Yeah, so my trading performance is very low. Just last week, I have losing streak upon losing streak. This was $105. I didn't even make a single profit. Not even a single profit. This was $105 on the 17, on the 18 and 19. I didn't trade. 28, $54 loss, $92 loss, $7 and 50